and Huwaida Bizid on the audio engineering. For today, we have the pleasure to have with us in the studio Mr. Richard Howard, who is CEO of Dreams and Motion from California, and Mr. Emin Jamoussi, who is also the CEO of Dreams and Motion Tunisia. So welcome to both of you. It's a pleasure to have you. And you are here today to share with us this partnership with a Tunisian company, and of course, Emin, this partnership with an American company. First of all, you want me to call you Richard or Rick?
You can call me Rick. Thank
Rick,
you.
okay.
Yes, yes.
Okay, Rick, so what can you tell us about Dreams and Motion? What is it and what does it do?
Okay, so Dreams in Motion, it started off as an effort a few years ago to help people around the world improve their communication skills, the language skills, and it basically evolved over time.
And you started that how long ago?
About 5-6 years ago.
5-6 years ago.
Right.
All right.
And it started with a few students from China that wanted to improve their English. And over time, their friends talked to their friends, and their friends talked to their friends. So up to this date, we've had people from about 100 different countries become involved online with our group.
Right. So this is how it started.
This is how it started, yes.
All right. And then you specialized in communication, in soft skills, in all that jazz.
Right. We looked at we look at our services as an integrated approach. We look at education, career development, languages, vocational training, and eventually leading to wellness and travel. So we look at these things as basically an integrated approach to help allow people to reach their goals.
Right. Okay. Emin Jamoussi, so you are CEO of Dreams and Motion Tunisia, and you are based in Sfax.
Exactly.
How have you heard about Dreams and Motion California? Tell us a little bit about the story of your partnership.
Actually, I joined the Skype groups of Dreams and Motion. My intention at that time was to learn English there.
So you started,
yeah.
I mean, basically to learn the language.
Yes.
All right. And
that's my teacher.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. And Rick is your teacher.
Yes.
And this is how it developed afterwards.
Yes.
All right.
Actually, I saw what he's providing exactly in Asia, and I suggested for him to do the same thing in North Africa because it's something interesting.
All right. Yeah. Okay. So, Rick, I get back to you. The choice of Tunisia then to be the first overseas location of your business, of Dreams and Motion.
Okay. So we were basically looking at some criteria because we have a lot of people in different countries, Vietnam, China, many other countries, Algeria, that have asked us to do what we're doing in Tunisia, but in their countries. We chose Tunisia because it met many of our criteria. You have a stable environment, meaning politically a stable environment. You have a market demand. People here want to achieve goals. They want to improve their language skills. They want to learn their soft skills. They want to get additional training to eventually find job opportunities. So there's an economic driver. Also in Tunisia, I think we picked it because it's strategically located. It's close to Europe, close to Asia, close to the rest of Africa. So it's in a good strategic location in terms of expanding to other countries.
So how long ago did it start? I mean, when you really thought of bringing the business here in Tunisia?
About two and a half years ago, Amin and I had talked, and he expressed an interest in maybe trying to do something in Tunisia, and specifically in Sfax. So we actually opened our facility in Sfax in July 2017.
2017, and you have been working, I mean, since then?
Yes.
On and off? I mean, you go back to California and then come back here?
Yeah.
I
recently retired from the U.S. government. I was in the U.S. government for 37 years as a senior project manager. And I retired about 3 months ago from my government position just so I could dedicate my time to our company and focus on trying to build it to something that we think it should be.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about what you do here in Tunisia. I mean, with Amin's company, what are the axes that you focus on? Do you focus on language? Do you focus on soft skills?
Okay.
Give us a typical program that you have.
So we
offer.
We basically have 3 different types of programs now. We have languages, English, French, German, Italian. We also provided Turkish courses in the past. So we have the language component, or segment. We also have vocational training. So we do petroleum engineering, safety, and quality management. And we're right now in the process of developing a course based upon soft skills. So public speaking, how to negotiate, leadership, team building, project management. So that's I'll call it the third module that we're working on right now.
Right. Okay. For these modules, who is delivering these modules? Do you bring people from the US with you, or do you do all this, or do you have partners from Sfax, since you are based in Sfax?
Right. Yeah. Basically, right now we're using primarily people in Sfax, and which I think is a good idea because, again, one of the things we want to do is empower people with some kind of long-term employment in a quality company. And to me, what better thing to do than give people in Sfax the opportunity to be part of that future? Now, in the long term, we do want to try and bring in some additional resources from outside the country.
Right.
As an example, in probably a month or two, we'll have somebody come from Ukraine. We may have people come from France and other countries as well. We had two people that came from Algeria about a month and a half ago to spend some time here as well. So we're looking at trying to nurture the growth from a Tunisian perspective of the population of Sfax and eventually in other places. At the same time, we want to integrate kind of an international mix with that.
So what's the format of the modules that you deliver? I mean, how long do they run, and how many hours a day, or how are they structured?
So it's very for the languages, it's very customized because every individual has a unique need. So we have some standard courses that we offer that can run up to 3 to 4 weeks at different levels. For example, the English language. Same thing with the other languages as well. The vocational training is more structured. Usually it's about 40 hours, 30 to 40 hours.
And for vocational training, you do soft skills, basically.
Well, that's what we're going to be doing in the future. And that would be, exactly.
Right. Okay.
So, and it's usually about a week-long course. And the reason why is because a lot of people we get, they're already working in companies. It's hard to get time off. So we try to be as concise but as impactful as possible.
Right. And you mentioned the engineering part?
Yeah, the petroleum engineering.
The petroleum engineering part.
Yeah.
What do you do exactly with that? I mean,
we provide them insight into the petroleum engineering environment, the industry, some of the skills required to work in that industry. What are some of the hazards they may face in that environment? And we get people from all walks. We had somebody last week that was she's a doctor, actually, I think here in Tunis. And she wanted to learn about the hazards of petroleum from a health standpoint. So that's an example of somebody that became involved just to get some insight into the impact or the hazards to health from petroleum.
So this is really customized.
It's very customized, and again, we try really hard. My experience as a manager is you can't boilerplate everything. You can't, we're not an assembly line, a manufacturing line. We're working with people, and every individual has a unique need. You can put together something that's consistent across a group of people, but you still need to always look at the individual.
So you have been here, you have been established here in Tunis since 2017, you said.
That's in Sfax, right?
In Sfax. And how can you assess, the period, from 2017 up to now?
I don't like to use this word lightly.
Okay.
We've been very successful. And the reason I say that is because if you look at purely a chart in terms of revenue, if you look at money, you could say that, we're on an escalator going up, okay? But more importantly than that part of it is I think we're building a brand or an image, so we're gaining the credibility. And to me, again, that's probably the most important thing in terms of a business. Any business can generate some money for some term. But the key thing is how many people can you help, and what is the image you present to people around you? That's the most important thing.
Right.
And I think we've been very successful there.
You said success is a choice.
Right.
So what are the key ingredients for success for you, for any company that wants to be successful? What advice can you give them?
Well, first of all, I look at success in categories. We have success in our relationships. We have success in terms of our physical health. In a business environment, I think success means that you've achieved your goals, to put it simply. In our case, our goal is to be able to help as many people as possible achieve their goals. So by them achieving their goals, we achieve our goal. And that's how we continue to be a successful business. So really, in our case, success means that people are able to reach the things they're trying to achieve in the most affordable, highest quality, and I would say most efficient way.
Right. Now, what advice, for example, would you give to an American businessman, let's not say an American, to a businessman who would like to start a business here in Tunisia or to establish a partnership in Tunisia? What advice would you give him or her?
Oh boy.
Or maybe you can tell us about the hassle, about the challenges, of starting your business here.
Everything in life, my philosophy, everything in life worth having is going to require some challenge. That's just the way it is.
That's right.
So to me, first of all, the language. That's a big one for me.
Right. And that's the first challenge that
that's
you
probably
have really
the first challenge
to
is because, again, there are some people that, example, I speak Chinese, I speak Spanish, so I speak other languages, but I don't speak Arabic, okay, and I don't speak French.
Right.
So for me, the language barrier is something, and most Americans that I know, at least, don't speak Arabic, or French. So that might be a challenge here in Tunisia. The other challenges, I think, would be finding the right partner. Now, it's possible. Amin and I found each other, okay? Right. So it's possible, but when you're doing some kind of multinational company and you're working across oceans or seas, trust is extremely important.
Trust.
The most important factor in any relationship. I don't care whether it's marriage or work. Okay?
Right.
So I think that's probably the key thing. I think the other challenge is that the culture here is different than the United States. In the United States, we like to document everything. You write everything down. I don't see so much of that here. A lot of the things here are more, verbal.
Yeah.
So there are some business practices that are a little bit different, but I think any of these obstacles can be overcome if you're working with the right people.
It's a culture. You're right. It's a culture which relies a lot on the oral tradition, because it's a culture of oral tradition, in fact, and this is why, as you said. You document everything, but it is starting to become a practice here, but slowly but surely. Yeah. Right. So what is it like for an American businessman to live here in Tunisia?
I think it's interesting is probably the right word. It's challenging, again, because if I go to the store, as an example, there's a supermarket close to the villa I'm staying in. I found one girl in there that speaks English in the store.
Wow, you always find someone who speaks English.
So I know what days a week she works. Okay, I would say the challenges are, of course, I think there aren't a lot of challenges. Well, okay, the driving, okay, the driving, okay. I was going to hold back on that, but I'm saying it, all right. So I'm adjusting. I'm kind of scared when I go back to the United States because I might get a ticket my first day driving back to the United States. Okay, but I think that's a challenge just for me because of things.
What are the best parts?
Oh, the people easily is number one. I've met so many great people here. I came here 3 weeks last year. I've been here about 6 or 7 weeks this time, and in that time I have yet to meet anybody that's had a negative attitude towards me, even if they don't understand me. People are respectful. One of the things I did when I came here last year is I went over to Amin's family's house, had couscous, a traditional Arab Tunisian type of dish. So the hospitality of the people here has been great. The second thing is the food.
Is the food. Okay, so the people number one, and the food is number two.
Yes. And at the end of the day, that's what really matters. The traffic I'll learn to deal with, or one way or another. There's some other things, but those are the things that are probably most important.
Did you have any stories, any maybe culture shock that you would like to tell us, to share with us?
I had one last night.
Last night. So it's recent.
Okay,
what was it about?
So I had dropped Amin off at his place, and then I was going to continue on to the villa. And Amin taught me the virtue of shortcuts in Tunisia. Okay, when you think there's traffic, take shortcuts. Well, I decided to try that. I ended up somewhere way outside of Sfax, driving towards Tunis. Okay,
oh dear.
Instead of going towards my villa. Okay, so after about 30 minutes, I realized that I need to go some other direction. I finally made it. There's a police checkpoint close to my villa. And I was going to the police checkpoint. They pulled me over, okay? Of course, the guy didn't speak any English. I don't speak any Arabic. I said, sorry. And he understood I was speaking English, and he said, you American? I said, you American? He says, George Bush, Obama? I said, yes. Shook hands. He says, go. Okay. So it was kind of fun. Yeah.
Well, it's kind of fun, right? Now, after this first experience with Emin Jamoussi in Sfax, do you have other plans? What are your future plans?
Yeah, we do plan to. We've been very busy engaging with the business community here in Tunisia. We've had some really good meetings with the U.S. Embassy in Tunis here. With the American Chamber of Commerce. We've been working recently with she's a general director of the Sfax Business Center and the Sfax Chamber of Commerce in terms of offering some courses. We'd like to see ourselves grow outside of Sfax into Sousse, Tunis, potentially other cities. My long-term goal is to have a Dreams in Motion entity across the world. Right now we have that virtually. I said we have representatives from over 100 countries, Sudan, Afghanistan, Italy, Greece, France, Peru, Brazil, everywhere that you could think about. That's the virtual audience we have today. So we want to turn that into what we have in Sfax, which is, an integrated approach where you have your virtual audience, but you also have the people face-to-face that you can interact with. So that's our long-term goal.
Your long-term goal?
Yeah, our long-term goal is basically this year expand in Tunisia and then start looking at other countries where we can replicate our success that we have here.
Is there a possibility to maybe, I don't know, try to extend or try to contribute to the exporting the image, of this country to the United States, because Tunisia is a very small country, of course, compared to the U.S. A lot of people do not hear about it. A lot of people, when you say, I am from Tunisia, they say Indonesia. Are there any prospects for you to make the Tunisian destination better known your end?
I wish you had been with me when I went back home after my last trip here, because I have a lot of friends in the United States, a lot of professional colleagues. And I actually did a video on YouTube talking about my time in Tunisia during my last trip, because I was so, I don't know the right word, I'm going to say pleased, but just enthusiastic about the experience I had here. And so when I went home, all my friends, Rick, would you stop talking about Tunisia? Okay. I'm serious, because again, like you said, a lot of people don't know what it is.
Right.
But, I think that I am a strong advocate. I've invited my American friends to come visit here. We're working right now with the city I live in to try and form some kind of sister city pact between my city in California and the city of Sfax,
right,
to form some kind of
twinning.
Yeah, and where we can promote more economic exchange, where we
Right.
can have cultural exchange, because again, I think this is a beautiful country that has a lot of potential, and its greatest asset are the people. So to anybody that's thinking about coming here, I would say, why not? Give it a try.
Yeah.
Just don't try to drive, okay?
That's right. And maybe try and maybe invite some of the Tunisian people that you have,
I would love
for
to,
example, as part of this partnership, to take them to the U.S.
I would love to be able to do that, yes.
To learn more about how things are done, for example, in the U.S. for an exchange of experience,
yes.
especially in the petroleum field,
Right,
especially
right.
in, I don't know, soft skills.
Right.
It could be a wonderful linguistic, stay
certainly.
for these people as well. I don't know.
Well, no, I would love to. I would love to be able to take some people here. I was talking to somebody the other day, and in California we have this tradition where we sometimes go to the beach. We build a bonfire on the beach. We cook some food. We listen to music, and it's just kind of a California tradition because we live close to the beach.
Right.
And I would love to be able to take people from here and just share that experience. Go have a typical American barbecue in the backyard, on the 4th of July or on Labor Day or something.
Right.
Now, there's much I think each country has to offer to each other.
Right.
And that's the way I look at it.
Right.
The relationship Amin and I have and the relationship I have with the other Tunisians we work with, it's one of mutual respect, and I think that's why it works.
Right. Okay, so Rick, your final impression. after all this? How would you sum up all this beautiful experience of partnership?
Behi Barsha.
Behi Barsha. Very good. At least you have learned few words.
The important ones.
The important one. Behi Barsha.
Yeah, yes.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. Wish you all the best and all the success.
Okay.
And hope to see Dreams in Motion maybe in other cities as well.
We would love that. Yes.
And I hope to see, the Tunisian chapter of
Yes.
Dreams in Motion in the U.S. as well.
We will love that.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Emin,
you.
would you like to say something?
No,
You just did not want to say much.
thank you for hosting us, and that's all.
Okay,
Thank
you are welcome. And good luck for your
Yeah,
company as
thank
well.
you.
Right.
Okay.
Coming up next, the Italian language program, and Adel Gazeh today. I thank Huwaida Bizid for her technical assistance. Join me tomorrow for another edition and stay with us on the international service of Radio Tunis. Bye.
La voix. Dans leur chaos, nous sommes l'éclat, nous sommes libres et notre parole est libre, mais elle n'oublie pas ceux qui sèment les sanglots et trahissent nos foi. Ce soir, j'aurai besoin de toutes vos voix. Alors, chantez tous avec moi pour la liberté d'expression. Ma parole est libre.